Hello, this is a reading between you and the person that is on your mind at this time. What is the energy between you two? Let's find out. Okay. We'll start with this and we'll elaborate. So what I am getting from this is that there is some sort of interest, obviously, between the two of you. There is a connection here. And there is some sort of offer, a monetary offer, a new work offer that might be presented to you. This person that is connecting to you is definitely in a work mind frame at this time. And even though he thinks the world of you, he's torn with how he feels. Mind versus heart. I'm sensing that he feels that you are a lot of what he wishes for, and he's thinking about making an offer to you, but there's some sort of discord in his mind and his way of thinking about you that is keeping him held back. I think that the way he feels in his heart and the way he feels in his mind might clash sometimes, and he thinks himself out of coming to you. He might also realize that there has to be a big change on his part or in between you two in order to make something work. I see that he wants to come to you as the Knight of Cups. He wants to come in as the Knight of Cups to you because that's how he truly feels inside. But he's going to come in with something a little bit more surface level, a little more practical, as the Page of Pentacles instead. It's a little less immature than the Knight, right? The Knight of Cups is a little bit more decided in his actions with his offer of love. You know, he's on the horse already. He's coming towards you with the cup in his hands, and he kind of already decided that he loves you, right? As the Page of Pentacles, however, it's kind of like a scared little boy feeling. He wants to be this knight in shining armor for you, but he's afraid of putting his heart on the line because you are very special to him. You know, as the world, you are things, you know, there's a lot of things about you that he wishes for. You know, everything that he wants in this world, he sees in you. The reason why you're getting this kind of energy with the Two of Swords and the Tower is something is clashing in him. There might be some sort of lifestyle difference between the two of you. I don't know exactly. We'll figure that out. But there's some sort of lifestyle difference where he knows that in order to come to you in this sort of energy as a Knight of Cups, in a feeling of true lovingness, instead of being a little scared, to come with his heart, he's coming with his wallet instead. Instead of coming towards you in that fashion, he's going to come to you with his wallet, kind of hold back his feelings and his heart a little bit, even though he wants to be a little bit more mature in his love life. I think that he's having a hard time deciding what to do. And he knows that there needs to be some changes made either in your lifestyle, in his lifestyle, in both of your lifestyles. There has to be some sort of big change that would need to happen in order to make it work, in order to give you his heart in an open fashion. And I think he's holding back. He's really unsure by what to do. He doesn't know whether to lead with his heart or his mind. He goes back and forth with it, and he knows that there needs to be a change ahead in order to get the world, right? You can't get everything served to you on a silver platter without you changing anything. And you both are going to need to make the change in order to get what you're looking for out of each other. If you want love, you gotta risk it, right? It's kind of like a gambling game. You gamble your heart, your feelings, in order to get what you want. And sometimes the more that you gamble, the bigger the reward. Sometimes you lose everything at the same time too. It's a gamble. That's why it's called one. You just never know, right? But is the love worth it? We'll find out. The Six of Cups. Looks like he's thinking that, there is some rhyme and reason. He really does have high regard for you. He does want to share his heart with someone, with the Six of Cups. He wants to be in an energy of love, and he wants to let down his guards. And you should be wary about who you give your heart to and who not to. And especially, I don't know, I'm a female, so I'm just going to come from my own point of view. But I feel like it's a little bit harder for men to let down their guard, especially when it comes to love. They're not used to being vulnerable with their hearts. They're taught from a young age to be tough, to not show emotion, to not be loving and soft. And it's hard to begin with, even when you know that there's no risk involved. It's still hard to let down your guard. So when there is a risk, or when there needs to be some hard changes made, it makes it even harder for someone to just open up to you and give you the Six of Cups kind of energy, right? There's flowers growing out of the cup. There's a lot of newness, and love could grow exponentially between the two of you. And there's a great chance of that happening. And I think that he's starting to realize that his heart is outweighing his mind chatter. You both have to work together in order to create love. It's not a one-way street. It's not one person's responsibility. It's both. And sometimes that takes a little bit of work, or some hard tower moments, let's say, to get where you want to go. But how bad do you want it? He's really torn, the Two of Swords and the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is a little bit elusive. He plays mind games. He plays little cat and mouse games with you. He doesn't really tell you, full out like the Knight of Cups would, like a man, who's a little bit more secure with his feelings and his heart, and getting what he wants. He's going to play it like a teenage boy would, where he plays mind games with you to see if you like him. He flirts with other girls in front of you to see if you get jealous, stuff like that. It's immature, but that's how the Page of Swords works. He's kind of like, let's play some games. Let's see if she actually, fails or succeeds with my game playing, right? It's not really a good way to go about love, but this is kind of like where he's been at. And even though he's torn on how to do the right thing, I don't think he really knows how to get here to this Knight of Cups energy. I don't think he's ever been here before yet. In order to grow and mature, you need to change. You need to change some things, right? Some things have to be just destroyed. The Tower is kind of like unexpected changes, things that need to happen, things that need to die in a sense, things that need to end in order to grow. It's called growing pains for a reason, because it's hard to grow up sometimes and it's hard to change. And even if your intentions are good and you want to change for the better, it doesn't make it easier sometimes. And I think he's just used to being in this Page of Swords energy of, it's kind of like, like when you're in grade school and a kid, I'm going to say a guy, a little boy likes you. Instead of coming up to you and giving you a love note, I don't know what happens nowadays, but back in my day, a boy would come up to you and kind of like hit you on the head, right? Or like throw a spitball at you, and that meant that he liked you, right? It's kind of like that energy that I'm feeling. He wants to share love and be in this loving, open energy, but he has no idea how to get there. And he knows that something's going to have to budge here in order to grow up. Is he willing to grow up? We'll find out. But at this point, he's playing elusive mind games with you. That doesn't mean that you have to participate in these games. Like I was saying, there's a lot of game playing happening here. A lot of tests and balances, I want to say. Like he's testing you in very indirect ways. He's not coming forward to you in a straightforward manner. He's coming to you in like these elusive, mysterious ways in his own mind to test you, but he's not coming forward and saying anything directly to you. He's like just playing games. The Nine of Wands is kind of like, let's just throw a whole bunch of stuff at her, and just see what she does with it, kind of thing. It's like testing the waters with you, but not being direct at all. And again, you don't have to participate in these games. You can be the direct one, but he's at the point where he's just kind of like playing games, throwing spitballs at you. He loves you, but he wants to trip you. He loves you, but he gives you like little disses, if he's around you. He might make fun of you. He might be sarcastic with you. He's playing games. He's not showing you his true feelings. Okay. Boy. He does want to collaborate with you. He does want to partner with you, and there is some sort of strong urge to work with you. With the Page of Pentacles and the Three of Wands, I think he just wants to come to you in a safe fashion and kind of give you an opportunity to work around him, but not really tell you that there's more to the story than just work or collaboration. He's not telling you anything about love. He's wanting and wishing to, but he's not there yet. And so he's going to come to you in a safe way, because it's kind of like a Page of Swords way. I like her, but I'm not going to tell her. I'm going to just give her an opportunity, see how we vibe. There's no risk really, except for like work risk, but there's no risk in your heart, in your love, in your emotions, in your feelings. He's keeping that separate. But he does want to collaborate with you, and he sees that there's an opportunity for you to do that too. You do have what it takes to give him, the world. You are someone that he finds very interesting and smart. The Five of Wands. A lot of wand energy here. A lot of fire energy. So I think with the Tower and the Five of Wands, I think he realizes that some people might not like this connection. Whether there's an ex involved or a current person involved, there's going to be some sort of arguments around the issue of you two working together or coming together. And I think that's why he's kind of undecided, because he knows that there's going to be some strife involved with coming towards you. Why? Not sure. What did you do to stir on these arguments with other people? I'm not really sure why there's other people clashing heads about you. Maybe there's rumors going on around about you that are untrue. He's listening to everyone but you, because he's not even coming to you. He's not even talking to you directly. He's like listening to his fears, he's playing games, he's tiptoeing around the subject with you. As much as he's looking at the Six of Cups, right? And he's like, I want to be there. I want to be in a place where I don't have to play these games with people. I want to grow up. But he doesn't know how to do it. And he knows it's going to be difficult. There's going to be some difficulty involved in this connection. And I think he knows that. And I think he knows that there's going to be some tower movements, some arguments, or just some discord with other people where they don't like the idea of you two together for some reason. Like I said, what did you do to deserve this sort of backlash on your behalf? No idea. Especially since you never even connected with him yet. It's kind of just like out in the open. For some reasons, there has to be some other people talking about you, or saying things that clash against each other. Like there's multiple opinions going on, and he doesn't know who to believe, what to believe. He knows in his heart that he loves you, and he wants to share love with you, and he looks at you like you are the world to him. But there's other people around him that are like giving him these negative ideas about you for some reason. Maybe they're spreading rumors. They're creating this sort of confusion around him where he needs to now sort out all of these opinions. And meanwhile, he hasn't even started anything with you. So I think that's why he's kind of in this Two of Swords, like very undecided, don't know what to do, because he knows that certain people are going to fight. There might be some strains in relationships. Maybe there's strains in his friends. Maybe his friends like you. Maybe that's it. Maybe there's a few people that kind of have their eye on you, and he knows that he's going to have to get into some sort of unwanted communication with his friends. If he comes towards you in a loving manner, he might have to hurt his friends' feelings, right? Like he might know that his friends get their feelings hurt, or they're gonna feel negatively in some way because he's coming towards you and you're going towards him instead of his friends. There's people involved that are going to give him a hard time for some reason, and he knows that. And there's going to be a big tower moment, and there might be a cause for people breaking off friendships or relationships or something like that, work relationships. But he thinks you're worth it, right? He thinks that it might be worth the work with the Ten of Wands, right? We went from the 9 to the 10 of Wands, so I see him really looking at you, like still amongst all the strife that might happen if he comes towards you. He still feels like it's worth it because you're progressing from the 9 to the 10 of Wands. He sees the outcome at the end of all this arguments and fighting. He sees it as worth the fight because you are the world. You are gorgeous. You're someone that he wants to share his cups with. And he sees that love can grow from you two for sure, even if you have no proof yet. He sees the end result and he wants to work at it with you. He wants to collect all his wands, and he wants to come to you and be like, let's do this. I'm done with fighting. I'm done with arguing. This is what I want, and this is what I'm going to work for now. I want to be creative with you. I want to be your partner, right? I don't want to play games. You know, I don't want to be elusive and play these mind games, or hold back my feelings, or you know, lie to my friends about how I feel. Something like that. He wants to be in this knight energy. You know, people bow down to knights. You know, knights are very regal, and they're looked up towards. You know, they're looked at in a great fashion. You know, they're respectable, and he wants to be in that energy of being a respectable, loving man. You know, he doesn't want to be in a page energy anymore. He's tired of dating. He's tired of looking for love in all the wrong places. I think that's a song. I want to say it's like a country song, but I'm not really a country gal. So I don't know, maybe someone out there knows what I'm talking about. Looking for love in all the wrong places. I feel like that's a song. And he's kind of been doing that. You know, he's been dating other people, trying to get his mind off of, you know, true love, how his heart really feels. Again, you know, being elusive, not telling people the truth, not telling his friends the truth, because he knows how it's gonna, you know, what the aftermath might entail. But every time he gets a new cup, it's like this trick. It's like trickery. It's never the right thing for him, and he knows it. And he's like just putting himself in these positions of like failing on purpose just to appease other people, so he doesn't hurt his friends. So if one of his friends or a couple of his friends like you, he's not coming towards you because he knows that it will hurt them, or they'll start to butt heads together. So he goes after other cups, and all these cups are tricks. All these cups are like no good, you know. There's snakes, there's, you know, like you never know what you're gonna get, you know, like it's like always like this surprise, and it's just like so tiresome, you know, to keep dating the wrong person over and over again just because you're not trying to hurt someone else's feelings. You're not going after what you want, then you're going after what other people want you to do, whether it's your parents telling you what to do and who to date, or your friends telling you who to date or not to date, or whoever it is, coworkers, whatever it is. You know, he's almost dating other people to appease them instead of going after what his heart wants, which is you. The Five of Pentacles. So yeah, if he comes to you in this Page of Pentacles manner and offers you some sort of work opportunity, I see that there's definitely going to be some coworkers that are not going to like it, and there's going to be people feeling like they're left out in the cold, right? When I see the Five of Pentacles, it's kind of like, I made a decision, and I know that some people are not going to like this, but this is what I want. This is not what you want. I'm not living for you. I'm living for me. When you're 80 years old, are you going to be happy with the person that you chose because you chose them? Or are you going to be 80 years old living with someone that everyone else chose for you, but you never really wanted? Right? So, you know, I think he's starting to come around the bend and be like, I know what I need to do. Something's got to change here. You know, we have to fight. There's a lot of changes that are going to need to happen, and he knows that, and that's why it's like kind of hesitating, you know, growing up, because it's going to be a little bit difficult at first. There's going to be some hard changes with the Tower. There's going to be some arguments or some butting of heads, you know, between his colleagues or his friends or his family, something of that sort. There's going to be a lot of opinions involved. And there might be some other people feel like they're left out in the cold, aka if one of his friends likes you and he comes towards you and you both hit it off and you become a couple, one of his friends might feel like they're left out in the cold because they've been talking about you as well. They've been wanting to date you, and now they feel like they were betrayed by this person that you love, and he loves you, but maybe his friends or someone is going to feel like he turned his back on them, in a sense. The Eight of Wands. How many wands are we going to have here, people? So there's obviously a huge connection because there's so much fire energy between you two. There's definitely a passion, and there's a lot of productivity that's going to have to happen between you two to make it work. Is it worth the work? It's up to you guys to decide. But with the Eight of Wands, again, we're turning into a good fashion of being like, okay, yeah, I think it's worth it. I think that I'm willing to do the work for her. I think I'm willing to, make the changes for this one. You're special. You're what he wants. You're the world. And he wants to love. He's tired of being in this elusive mind game, mind fuckery, in a sense. He just wants to be open and loving, and a man, that can sit back and be like, this is who I chose, and this is my decision, and I worked hard for this, and this is what I get. And you coming together with the Eight of Wands is kind of like combining forces with each other and, defying the odds against you, or showing, the people that might talk badly about this, initially showing them that eventually it's the right choice, and they'll eventually figure it out, by watching you. They'll eventually figure out that you two are a good couple together, or that you do make a good match together, or that it is worth the fight, right? Or it's worth the changes that need to be made. The Eight of Cups. So like I said, he thinks it's worth it. He thinks you are worth the headache. We went from the Seven of Cups to the Eight of Cups. So we're progressing in a lot of different ways here. We're progressing in how we're thinking. We're progressing in the work that needs to happen. I think that you two have a good chance of working it out and really growing up. And he knows that it's not going to be easy. But is any good love story easy? If you even watch any kind of love story in a movie, there's always some sort of problem that needs to be overcome between you two to define the odds, to define the amount of love that you have for each other. You both have to work towards it. You both have to fight for it, and it really comes down to, are you willing to fight for it? Are you willing to go after what you want? Are you brave enough to be truthful with yourself and tell yourself what you want out of a relationship? Or are you just gonna appease everyone else around you because it's easier? That's the kind of feeling that I'm getting from all this. It's kind of like, are you willing to do the work? Are you both willing to fight for each other to get what you both want, which is each other? Because you know that there's a connection here. There's so many wands. There's so many wands. The bottom of the deck is strength. So I think you both do have enough strength in order to really come out on top. And you might have to prove it first to yourselves. Like, F what everyone else thinks. First prove it to yourselves. So if you're both willing to do the work and come together and connect, prove it to both of yourselves that you are meant to be with each other, that you both make a good team, right? That you both want an end result you know, together, that you both know that you can create, produce, you can be each other's partners on many levels, you know, and especially when people are going to challenge you with this, you know, you both are going to prove that you've both been dating people that are just not good for you. So why not choose the person that you want to really be with? You know, not the person that looks good on paper, not the person that your mom wants you to date, not the person, you know, that your friends think that you should date. It's the person that you really want. Then you can prove it to everyone else. But you'll prove it through your productivity with the Ten of Wands. You won't need to explain. You'll explain by doing and showing by example. And that's how you really explain to people anyway. You don't need to use your words, especially when it comes to love. They'll see that you guys connect. They'll see that you guys vibe. They'll see the connection. You're going to be, you know, one of those couples that kind of just make people grossed out by how much you love each other. Like, you'll see it from a mile away. Like, you know, if you go out to eat and say one of you goes, I don't know why I'm seeing this, but say like one of the girl, you know, you go to the bathroom and your man is waiting for you at the bar. As soon as you come out of the bathroom and you're walking towards him, he catches you across the room, and he just, his eyes open up, and his mouth grins widely, because that's my girl, you know, like, and the connection between you two, even across the room, people will feel, people will see, and they'll be like, ew, you know. Excuse me. So that's the kind of connection that I'm feeling between you two. Are you willing to fight for it? Are you willing to show it? And are you willing to prove it? Are you willing to have enough bravery to go after what you want out of life, right? And just do what you want. That you only get one chance in this lifetime. Are you going to go after what you really want in your heart, in your love, in your mind? Or are you just going to be a puppet to what everyone else thinks you should have? No need to struggle against the wind when you can catch the current and sail easily upon the breeze. Smooth flight. So what I get from this is that you go with what your heart is telling you to. It's hard to fight against what your heart is telling you. It actually takes up more strength to lie to yourself about the situation. If you really care about this person, I think you should just go for it, you know, sail. Don't struggle against what you're feeling. You kind of just go with the flow of where your heart is taking you, you know. You catch the current and sail easily upon the breeze. It's easy sailing when you just follow your heart and what your mind is really telling you. It's a lot easier to go through life when you know that you're making decisions for you and not for anyone else. And I think that once you learn to just go for it and take the flight, take the risk, take the jump into the unknown, even if there's going to be some, you know, hard times, a little bit of work involved, some changes that need to happen, I think that you're both sick of what you've both been doing so far. It's kind of like, you know, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. So it's kind of like dating the same person over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. If you really want love and you know where your love lies, just go for it.